Hey guys, it's Melissa from Mesquiteville Farm, and today what I'm going to do is show you how to break down a whole chicken. When we sell our birds, they're always whole, and I get a lot of questions from customers about how to break them down, so that's what we're going to do today. First thing I want to tell you is wash your hands and make sure that your knife is very sharp. So when you're starting to break down this bird, we want to let gravity do the majority of the work for us, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is get these wings. I'm going to kind of flip it on its side here. And I'm just going to start cutting and let gravity tell me where I need to be going with this. Cut around and off. And that's one wing. Same thing with the other wing. Again, just lift the wing up, let the gravity do the work, and start cutting. You're just going to cut around. You're going to let that bone separate, and that's going to tell you where you need to be cutting. Okay, see how it separates real quick like that? You hit it just right. Okay, and there's our second wing. Now we're going to move on to the thighs and legs. Same principle. Let gravity do the work. Grab it by the leg and then start cutting when you see the skin separating. Okay, just work your way around till you get to the back. I like to try my best to include that oyster because it's the best part of the chicken. And you hear that snap? That's the thigh coming off. Separating. Okay, I'm going to take the other one off and I'm going to show you all a little trick with these. Again, grab it by the leg. Let the gravity do the work for you. Come around. Make sure you get that oyster in there if you can. And if you run into any resistance, just take your knife out and start again. Okay, pull this back so that bone separates. This should be easy. You shouldn't have to fight the bird. Now, you can leave the thighs and legs whole if you want, or you can split them down into a separate thigh and leg. One of the tricks that I learned in a cooking class that I attended is you see this little line of fat right here? That's going to tell you right where you need to cut to separate these two the easiest. And that's it. That to me was worth every penny that I spent on that class. So again, right here, see that line of fat? That's where we want to cut. Now that time it didn't work as well for me. Just make an adjustment. I accidentally caught the cartilage here. So just make an adjustment, cut on that line. And there's your legs and your thighs. Now the breast can be slightly trickier, and it depends on how you want it. I'm gonna go ahead and do boneless breast here because I wanna keep the whole carcass for chicken stock. So you see your breastbone right here down the center, okay? We're gonna keep the skin on because I refuse to eat chicken without skin. But you may not want to, and it's easy to just peel the skin off. So you're gonna start, I'm gonna do the right breast first. We're gonna start right on the bone, and we're just gonna cut down. Make sure that you're to the right of that breastbone. Just double check. And you're just gonna cut down. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna just stick your fingers in there and help kind of pull the meat back so that you can make sure that you're not hitting bone, and also to help make sure that you're getting all of your meat off of the carcass, okay? And you're just going to keep cutting down the side, down the ribs. And again, I like all the skin, so I'm going to try to keep as much of that on there as possible. And that's it. You've got a beautiful chicken breast right here. And then if you wanted to, you could separate out the tender. That's this piece right here. And you can just separate that off and have chicken tenders if you want. I'm going to keep it whole. And then same thing on the other side. Cut along that breastbone. And then use your fingers to kind of help guide the meat back so that you can see what you're doing. Making sure that you're getting as much of the meat as possible. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. Just pulling the meat back with my fingers. And again, letting gravity do a lot of the work too, especially once we get down to this part, okay? I'm gonna grab this breast, let gravity do the work. And this is another reason why it's so important to have a really sharp knife so that you're not having to fight with it trying to get through, okay? And then there's our second breast. And again, on the underside, that's your tender right there. Okay, so you can separate that if you wanted to. And so there's your chicken broken down into 8 parts, 2, 4, 6, 8. Again, you can keep the thighs and legs whole, or you can break them down using that trick that I showed you with the cutting along the line of fat. And then on the carcass, I will save this and make chicken stock with it later. And that's it. Thank you so much for visiting. I wanted to talk a minute about why I prefer to get a whole chicken as opposed to parted out chickens. The biggest reason is I can get more meals out of a whole bird, and it's much more cost effective. I could easily spend, for pastured poultry, $10 on these 2 breasts alone, and then another $8 to $10 on the thighs and legs. Whereas for $20, I got the whole bird, and I get the wings also and the carcass, so I can make stock. I can make 2 meals out of this, and it just makes more sense financially. And you also have control over the cuts and how it's being presented and put together. Thank you.